Hey guys, it is me, Hyena fucking 420. Now, I had a pretty bad rough-in with my parents, and as you guys can see, I am no longer at my parents' house. And that is not Smokey, by the way. That is Kona. Anyways, I got a new roommate, and I met her throughout some friends, and yeah, this is her dog. And if you guys are wondering about Smokey, he is going to be coming to this house. We just gotta kind of get both dogs to get used to each other. We're trying to do this right. And Smokey hasn't been around a lot of dogs, but he is very submissive, so it's just more the fact of getting them along. There's a huge bunch of bullshit details I need to get in with you guys about that completely later in this video. Here's my room. It's kind of messy right now, but it stays clean. Like, look at this. It's pretty clean of a room. Hi, Kona. So yeah, guys, this is my life right now. I'm gonna try to do some videos of how things go. It's gonna be a little difficult because I'm trying to get a job. I'm in a whole part of Tucson that I'm familiar with, but I've never gotten the chance to work and try to find a job in, so hopefully I get some work. I just thought right now would be a good time to do a video when my roommate is not here, because I don't know how she feels about being on YouTube. So, and I share the same living space with her, and we pretty much do things together when we go out of the house, so it's kind of hard to kind of get up to it. I'll try to see if I can talk to her about it. I just know how some people are about being on the internet, and that's fine, you know, like, you gotta respect people's privacy on that shit. That's the main reason why I think it's gonna be hard to make these videos, and one of the main reasons why I think it's gonna be quite difficult to like contain the 2 videos a month, but I am gonna try. This is gonna take a lot out of me, just trying to get everything going, you know. Way more different than when I was at my parents' working, growing weed, and doing YouTube videos and taking care of their house all at the same time. And to be honest with you, I wasn't gonna get into details of what happened because I didn't think I wanted to get that deep into my personal life, but I'm just gonna say it this way, easy, simple. Like, not all families are the same, guys. Like, some people have some really messed up families, and I would love to consider mine as one, mainly just because of how they act. Let's just say calling the cops on family is not a good go, mainly because it contains the drama and the split and even just all the bullshit that happened between the family, and it can last longer than, you know, just simply letting someone walk out of the house for a bit and just giving them space. I understand that the law enforcement is there to enforce the law and protect people. However, you should never call the cops on family, because when it gets to the legal part of it, it can get really fucked up. When I mean fucked up, I mean fucked up where they start lying to the cops, to where they start lying to the courts. Pretty much a lot of these cases, from what I had to look this up because, yeah, this is how I realized my parents are not good people. And most kids can say about that about their parents, I know, like, but you know, most kids do, but I have a hard time believing that you know, am like most kids who just have problems with their parents. And there are families like mine that are really rough like that. I've heard stories worse than mine, and some people think mine is worse than theirs. Like, let's just say my family has exiled me out of, like, really being a part of the family for a long time. This is why you guys don't see my parents in the videos. This is why you don't even see my niece, who also lives at the house, which is who, you know, you don't see in the videos either. This is why I do not involve my family involved in my videos, mainly because of just the toxic atmosphere that I do not really like people seeing me involved in. A lot of people question about the things they exhibit at my parents' house, and before I even really started realizing there's been a lot of mistreatment. And yes, this has been going on when I was young. So this is why now at the age of 28, I have realized I need to get away from them. And yeah, they called the cops on me, all right, over, and yeah, I did break some stuff, but domestic violence. But it seems like the courts want to know more about what's going on with the case, because it doesn't seem like I was really fairly given a fair piece on my side. And that's because there has been a lot of things my parents made up. And let's just get to the bottom point to why this situation happened in the first place. So originally I was already getting kicked out, mainly because I defended Smokey, because I witnessed my parents hit Smokey on the head. And by hit, I mean whacked him on the head really hard over a $12 slipper. This kind of also goes back to the point where my parents called me a dog abuser, because when he dug up one of my weed plants, he ended up, yeah, going in the kennel. Yeah, I put him in the kennel, right? They started saying that was abuse and that I shouldn't use the kennel as a punishment. And I came up with a smart remark saying, because I just got out of jail, and I was like, oh, last time I remember, you misbehave, you go to jail, right? Because if I'm wrong, then why the fuck did I go to jail, right? So yeah, it was just a whole bunch of shit that they started, and I defended Smokey over it, and then they decided to pull out that I was an abuser for some reason, and said that, you know, all this stupid shit. So yeah, I was threatened to be kicked out of my parents' house, which I didn't mind because I really do not want to be there. And like I said, it was a very toxic environment. Yeah, so I didn't want to be there, and it didn't bug me that they were trying to kick me out in the next 2 months. However, it was mainly based off the fact that I defended my dog being abused by my own parent. Now again, I'm the one to know you do not call the cops on your family. And that is where I did not report it. However, my parents are complete pussies, and they really do not stand a chance against me if it did go very bad, you know? So, and they knew this. So they did not want to fuck with me when it came to me being right. And it's gotten to the point where I do not follow their delusions enough that they have to pretty much discriminate against me. Their delusions are around the amounts where it's okay to teach kids in elementary school about switching their genders and pronouns and stuff. That's what my parents are, all right? And their delusional ideology, and not everyone who's in that community is like that, guys, but theirs is definitely like that. And they definitely have an issue with owning up to mistakes. So it was 2 days before I was getting kicked out, I ended up getting upset with them about it and ranted to Smokey about it. Then I went downstairs to go and smoke some pot. After going downstairs to try to smoke some pot, I go outside, didn't even pack a bowl. I was like, oh, I should probably get some water first. Mouth's dry. I don't want to cough and just feel like I have cotton mouth all the time, right? I'm coughing. So what do, I go inside and get some water. My mom, and by the way, throughout the 2 months, they've been acting like everything's okay. They've been giving me smiles, and really, they were just happy that I had 2 months left and I was getting kicked out. Again, between both of those times, right? This is the second time they decided to have a conversation with me about getting me kicked out of the house. Now, they gave me 2 options. One, if I willingly leave by their terms, they will help me move my stuff to where I'm moving to, and also they will invite me to Thanksgiving, Christmas, and birthday parties and over to their house for dinner every now and then. That was my reward if I complied. By the way, the reason why they used that for a reward is because, yeah, they used to not invite me to these things. In fact, they rather had me go and hang out with some other group of friends or stay at home by myself while they went off with the rest of the family to celebrate these holidays. Yeah, I was not allowed to be at these things for a while unless I had a family member who asked for me to come over. And these were family members that actually cared about me, right? Out of the state of Arizona. Now, I know, guys, that is some fucked up shit. The second option was if I didn't comply, they would bring legal situations into it, which, yes, is legally correct. They could do. But it went to the extent that they were writing down things that I did throughout the house. So if I went with my friends to go and get some beers because I was hanging out with them and came back, they would write that down as a negative result. And to what exactly? Don't know. But it was some lawyer work that they couldn't let me see. They hid the paperwork from me when I went in to go and ask them, what is with this legal shit? I want to see this legal shit. And they tried acting like it was something else, but no, they put a protection order against me, and they also are trying to get me to pay fines. And this was all going on within the 2 months after what I had left, while I had no idea about it. I had no idea that's how I was being treated in this situation, and I had no idea I had such snakes as parents. I went insane. I was like, you people are some of the most ignorant and most disgusting people a man can ever call family. And you wonder why. The neighborhood, my friends, people on the internet when I'm going through fucking these little episodes, why they think you guys are bad people or have issues. It's simply because of how they treated me. Now, when it came, and I just went to court today for this shit. Yeah, so yeah, and it turns out the court has no idea exactly much details. So they don't even know what exact misdemeanor I should have actually been charged with after the cops have charged me with this misdemeanor DV. Oh yeah, like that yeah, it made no sense to me, right? So now they don't even know exactly the type of level of misdemeanor I'm at. Now my case is being postponed so they can figure out what I should have actually been charged with and what actually happened. No, motherfucker, you guys hit my dog. They never really brought up any of this shit. And again, at the same time, during this day, they hit my dog again. They hit my dog again. And I went to jail for this again. Yeah, I went again. But it was only for a night. I knew what was going to happen. Like, I've been through this kind of situation with my parents over and over and over and over and over again. I can't tell you how many domestic violence, like, charges I've had. And every single domestic violence charge I've had was based in that house. This here is a blessing to me. To be honest, bro, like, this is how life should be for me right now. Like, I need to get out of that house, go and fucking look for work. I need to do a lot of other shit too, to like just, you know, getting my own headspace situated. Smokey's gonna be coming here. Like, a lot of our friends are already dead centered to that. Like, and I have legal right to have him, you know, so that's one thing in the protection order they have no control over. And yeah, so Smokey is allowed here, so it's gonna be nice.